Today I want to address the question of what lenses should you get for your Canon DSLR. This is the kit lens, and it's pretty good because it has plenty of focal range from wide to short tele, has an image stabilizer, and it's pretty cheap. It's only $100, or it comes with their camera purchase. And after you get familiar with the focal range and the different focal lengths, filmmakers and photographers probably suggest getting a 50mm f1.8. These are only $100 new, but if you don't have enough money for this, you can get a vintage 50mm 1.7, and they're just as good, and they have manual controls, manual focus, and you get some cool creative looks from this. And I only got this lens with a small tripod for $8, which is awesome. But I only picked up this 50mm f1.8 at an estate sale with an old EOS Rebel film camera for $5, which is major savings. So after you get your 50mm and you experiment with it, you probably realize that it's a little bit too telephoto. You want something a little bit wider. So you might just pick up the 24mm f2.8 pancake lens. This lens is surprisingly sharp. It's sharp as my 17-55 2.8 lens. So 24mm is decently wide for an APS-C camera. It's actually really useful focal length because it gives more of your background, but yet you still have some separation from objects, which is pretty cool. And it's super compact too. And this is $150 new. I just bought this new. I didn't have any major savings with that, but it's a really awesome lens. If you don't have enough money for this, you can pick up a vintage 24mm. These aren't as good as the 50mm ones because it's not as sharp, but it still has a crazy cool long focal focus ring. You have to pick up an adapter with the vintage lenses, so that'll cost a little extra. I got this 24mm with this 35mm film camera. That also comes with a 50mm f1.7 lens. So by getting the same adapter, you could swap them out or just buy one for each lens. But I got this lens, this camera, and this lens, and an 80 to 200mm for only $25. So still really good pricing there. Not as good as the modern wide-angle lenses, but still good enough. By that time, you could probably end up selling your kit lens if you decide to and get something a little bit wider, such as a 14mm Rokinon or the 10mm Rokinon lens. I don't have the Rokinon lens personally, but I know a friend that has a Rokinon 10mm, and he has very good reviews about that. So yeah, you could sell this and then put the new money towards a wider angle lens, or you could just keep this as the wide angle. For the telephoto shots, you can get the 55 to 250mm lens. That's f4 to 5.6. Really good zoom range, and it's pretty decent for all my telephoto needs. If you're wanting something a little bit more better, you can probably look at the 135mm prime lens. I'm not sure how much those lenses, I'm not really into the telephoto shots. Or you can again pick up a vintage 80 to 200 f4 constant. Again, they're not as sharp as the modern lenses, but they're still really good for the price. If you don't want to go with the prime lens route, then you can get a 17 to 55 or 17 to 50 zoom lens f2.8. Those cost a little bit more money. If you get the Canon version, which is really expensive, that's around $700 to $800. You can probably find them new for around $500 to $600. Or you can get the Tamron or the Sigma versions that are like $200 to $400. So if you want to go that route, you can. But I personally like the prime lenses. I'd rather focus on the composition, not messing around with the zoom ring. So those are the lenses I suggest for the Canon DSLR when you're first starting out. It's still very good, and these lenses are really awesome and they will last you a long time. So yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you have any questions and I'll answer them. Leave a like if you really like this video, and subscribe for more awesome videos like these. Thanks for watching.